Hello students, welcome to my class on community ecology. Today I am going to discuss about ecological succession and climax community. What is ecological succession? See this photograph, it is showing a forest fire, entire forest is destroyed by a forest fire. After some years, you may see this place like this. Some you will find small trees and shrubs are replaced. So this is what succession, this is orderly, directional and gradual replacement of communities from one kind to other during the time due to the changes in the physical environment called ecological succession. So in any natural habitat you will able to see it is in a successional stage. If it is a forest, it is the final stage you will find, or else if it is a grassland, grass may be the final stage. It depends on the regional climate. So we will come to that later. So what is exactly the successional ecosystem are the unstable that exist wherever natural calamities such as flood, forest fire, lava flow from a volcano or man-made loss of natural ecosystem. So what you see here, there is a forest fire, and you can see after that you can see there will be after some days or some years you will find the grasses. If the climate is supporting, then you will find small herbs going to develop in that area. Later it is succeeded by a small shrubs, and later the shrubs are succeeded by the small trees. All these changes takes place in that area depends on the climate. So this is what you can see, the successional ecosystem. Ecological succession, it is a orderly, directional and gradual replacement of communities from one kind to another during the course of time due to the changes in the physical environment. So ecological succession, what are the main features of this? So there is a predictable changes. You will able to see these changes in a particular order, So at each stage different species of plants and animals arise and thrive. So different species of, for example, in the first stage you will find the mosses and the ferns. That is the next stage you will find small herbs. Next stage you will find shrubs, small trees, the large trees. So you will find it is the succession of different species of plants, and as the animals are depend on the plants for their food, so they also the succession of animals also arise, and this successional process, new organisms move in and previously succeeded may die or move out. So this you will find it. This is the mosses. They may remain or they may be succeeded by the small herbs. Herbs may remain in that area, or else is it succeeded by the shrubs. So this you will find there is the one community is succeeded by the other community. There is the orderly succession going to you will see. So this is the ecological succession is gradual, slow and continuous process till the emergence of the stable community. So once the stable community come, then no more succession. That means that stable community will remain and it is not supporting the any other successions. That's what you can see, the stable community. It is called climax community. The entire sequence what occurs from first stage to the stable, they are called Xerarch. So these entire sequence of community during ecological succession called Xerarch. First community that starts the succession, it is called the pioneer community. From the pioneer community, the orderly sequence will go. There are in between 3 to 4 transitional unstable stages, what I said, these are the transitional unstable stages. So the serial stages. The last one is the stable community, climax community. Organic matter or detritus that is going to be accumulated from one community will favor the emergence of the next serial community. But once there is a final stable community appears, then no more the detritus accumulated which will support the next community. So that's why it is called stable community. So the ecological successions are mainly two types depending on the number of serial stages: primary succession and secondary succession. Primary succession occurs on the site that have not previously been occupied by vegetation. So that is on the bare rock. You mean, see, there is a bare rock that results from a volcanic eruption, that lava comes out and it will form a bare rock. So these bare rock, due to the withering action, and you can see it starts supporting plant communities, lichens, later you can see the small grasses, then the shrubs, like that, So there is the bare rock, the ecological succession begins after volcanic, the first soil going to build up by pioneer communities. You will see the lichens on this bare rock. These are the pioneer community. They build up the soil that support the succeeding serial communities or stages of ecological succession. So this is what you can see, primary succession, that may takes place in a water body, that is in the lake like this, or else the lake, either in the lake or else in the pond, the succession will take place. So you may see in the near whatever the water body you will find in your nearby water body, they may be in some successional stages. So this may be speeded up or else it may be accelerated by human activities. So this secondary succession that occurs on the site that have been previously been occupied by well established communities. So sometimes this is what I showed in the natural calamities like forest fire or flood wipe out the communities already there and new communities start appear. That is because there is a soil is already formed there. So that's why these here ecological succession contains a few serial stages when compared to the primary succession to attain the climax stage. So this the table, this shows the ecological succession that occur in a pond or else in a lake. It is called a hydrocere or hydrarch. Ecological succession takes place in the ponds and the lakes. So what are the pioneer community? So pioneer community in the ponds and the lakes will be the phytoplanktons or the floating organisms or floating plant community, green, red and blue green algae. So which support the animal community is the zooplankton. Then it is succeeded by these these phytoplanktons, they die and they sink into the bottom and they start accumulate the detritus which support the submerged plant stage. Hydrilla, Vallisneria, Eleudia, all these are submerged plants. So these submerged plants are supporting the next the animal community, that is the insect larvae. So this further you can see the detritus accumulated further and it support the grasses, Sagittaria, Nymphia, rooted emergent plants. Then similarly see the changes in the animal community which support water insect, water beetles, gill breathing water snails, like that. So slowly these are called reed swamp stage, which is going to be succeeded by the marsh meadow stage, that is the shrubs, small woody plants, they going to succeed. By this time you can see there may be the entire water body is now it is it is converted into shrub forest. You can see it is a wetland. Where here you will see the patchy water bodies here and there, and you can see the support, you can see wetland birds, water birds, ducks, geese, and snails, annelidan worms, all these you can see. And now this shrub forest is succeeded by woodland stage, small trees. So this supporting lung breathing snails, rabbits and all. Then ultimately the climax community, the large woody trees, it is supported by the climatic and edaphic climaxes. So that support, the what all the animals you will find in a forest. So these are the course of the hydrocere, or you can see the ecological succession. Remember this, all these, it takes some hundreds and thousands of years. So whatever the natural forest, it is the outcome of ecological succession of hundreds of years. So this ecological succession, xerocere, this ecological succession starts or begins on a bare rocks. So pioneer community here, it is different here, not the phytoplanktons. Here the lichens, crustose lichens first appear, then you can see the foliose lichens, fructose lichens, like that different types of lichens stage you can see. Then you can see which support the different animal community, mites, ants and spiders. The next you can see the stage is the folio stage, foliose lichen. This support of springtails, spiders and mice. Next you can see this support the moss stage. So bryophytes and pteridophytes, which support these are all the ecological succession that occurs on the bare rock. Okay. Then this moss stage is succeeded by the herb stage, which support nematodes, ants. So by this time you can see sufficient amount of soil is formed due to the withering action of all these lichens. Then the herbs is succeeded by the small trees. By the time entire rock is now, it is now converted into soil. So it supports snails, slugs, millipedes, centipedes, all burrowing ones and all. Then shrubs is succeeded by the forest or woody trees, and this is depends on the nature of the woody trees, depends on the climatic and edaphic climaxes. The nature of the soil and nature of the climate, it decide the type of the climax community should be there in the climax stage. And the how this forest is supporting different the animals. So this is what you can see, the bare rock lichens going to develop. These are all pioneer stages, small the annual plants and lichens. Then herbs, perennial herbs, the grasses. By this time you can see the soil formation. The bare rock is converted into slowly the soil build up, and it supports the shrubs and the trees, different varieties of trees, and this is going to become the climax community, and these are all the intermediate cereal community. So what is the differences you will find in the pioneer community with that of climax community? These are on a bare rock, you will find different types of lichens and mosses. These are all pioneer community, and you can see once after ecological succession for about hundreds and thousands of years, this area will become like this now. So this is a forest, you will find it's the final stage. So it is the pioneer community appears in an uninhabited the rock or on the land. So it is final community appear on the inhabited previously by so many cereal stages. So the size wise these are small, size wise they are very large trees, well adapted one. Then here R selection, fast growing, and here K selection. So our selection means you can see they are fast growing, and you can see they are the one they will be having, they are the growth rate is very high and they produce many offsprings. And K selection, where you can see growth rate is slow growing and you can see they produce less offsprings, you can see. So there will be dormancy period, there is no dormancy period here. So this is how difference between pioneer community and climax community. And in the pioneer species on a bare rock, what type of lichens? On bare rock, you will find these are the lichens, you can see fruticose lichens, scrutose lichens, foliose lichens. So the lichens are the pioneer which break down rock into form soil. They bring chemical withering of rocks by the exertion of various organic acids. So particularly oxalic acid, carbonic acid, all these acid, they dissolve the minerals in the rock, and they chelate metallic cations, and thereby they are the one, they you can see the soil, it is the rock withering into the soil, and that support the next cereal stage, the small grasses. So then so the next it is succeeded by the grasses and the mosses and the ferns. Then you can see the grasses, then you can see the small shrubs, and then you can see the woodland stage. All these community will be succeeded in the primary succession. So the simple plants like mosses and ferns can grow and in the new soil. Then the first is the lichens, then next in the previous slide we have seen. Then the simple plants die, adding more organic matter that support this type of you can see the grasses, wildflowers and other plants, the shrubs, and last the large trees. So this what is the difference between primary succession and secondary succession? Here there is a forest fire, here there is a landslide. So it is already, the soil is already there, and where you will find the secondary succession will occur. Primary succession where there is no soil, okay, then it start the pioneer species due to withering action. Here you can see already the pioneer species are absent here because it is already, soil is already formed, and that's why you will find the cereal stages like grasses or else small shrubs will appear, you can see. So the humus and the sand increases over time, and it is already there. So this is where you can see fewer cereal stages in the secondary succession. So the secondary succession where there is a landslide or nudation due to the landslide or else forest fire or else floods or else human activities. So all these where you will see the secondary succession. So what exactly the climax community? Ecological succession leads to the appearance of final self-sustaining stable community called climax community. So climax community exhibits a state of internal stability and natural balance. If it is get destroyed by a forest fire or deforestation by human activity, it will take hundreds of years to re-establish through secondary succession, or it may lead to easily desertification. If the climate is not supporting, then it will become desert. So it is very important, all these climax community we have to preserve, otherwise it may it is leading to the desertification. The stable group of plants and animals, that is the end result of succession process, does not always mean big trees. Remember, climax community means it is not leading, if the climate is supporting, then it leads to the forest trees and big woody trees. If it is the climate is not supporting, then it may end up with the succession may end up with the climax community by the grasses in the prairies, or else it may end up with the desertification. You can see cacti in the desert. All these are the climax community. So that's the reason the regional climate will support the type of the vegetation that is going to be succeeded in the final stage, that is in the climax community. So The climax community is the outcome of different types of factors like water, soil, climate, biotic factors, genetic factors. All these are acting or deciding the climax community, the final community, stable community appear on appear in the end of the ecological succession. So climax community, the nature of the climax community explained by three theories. Monoclimax theory. The Clements in 1916 has explained the climate of a region affects the nature of the climax community called climatic climax. Polyclimax theory, Transley 1939, he explained the area is occupied by many climax communities which are controlled by many factors such as soil moisture, soil temperature, where climate is also one of the factor. For example, if you go to Badra forest, you will find so many, the landscape is dominated by teakwood trees. Then you will find bamboo trees, you will find terminalia, tementosa, that is the matti, all these, so all these you can see the communities which is the not only climate and also the soil edaphic factors, edaphic climax is also present. This is the polyclimax theory. Now the Whittaker, he proposed climax pattern theory that explains climax community of a result from a ecological succession is decided by 9 major climatic or environmental factors. Both climatic climaxes, edaphic climaxes are subjected to change according to the microclimate, the soil nature, biotic factor, fire, wind, natural selection, genetic factor, biodiversity, then dispersal, the dispersal capacity. All these going to decide the climax community in an ecological succession. So climax communities are complex system comprised of a population of organisms representing all classes of plants, animals, fungi, protista, monist, all living, interacting each other on the land. They are the part of larger group of communities that constituted the regional ecosystem or the landscape. So what we are doing, mining activity and cutting down that. So human activities, agricultural practice, all these human actions directly altered 70% of this natural habitat, the climax community that resulted from thousands of years, the ecological succession outcome we destroyed now. We destroyed the habitats of this earth. So dear students, we humans are the only creature on this earth not understanding the nature of this earth. All organisms can survive without humans, but we cannot, remember. Let us respect the sanctity of this mother earth and stop abusing her. So I just end up with this beautiful painting of the famous artist Sri B.K. Verma, Mother Earth. See the serenity in this beautiful painting. The same, we respect that nature. Thank you.